this old news, baby. You're the one I need. We can take it slow, baby. I'm happy going at your speed. What can I do to make you see in a perfect night? Need you to see. I need you to be with me tonight.
Welcome back to Humbro Pie. I'm your host, Jimmy D, and we are back again for another night of One Piece TCG, baby. We have got the last of two meetings before we are going to say goodnight to OP15 and EBO4, guys. EBO16, I'm sorry, not EB, OPO16, that's so many sense. OPO16 is going to be coming out this week. This Friday at Lifelink Games, we're going to be releasing the newest, the greatest, the great product that is OP16. Just one set away from the anniversary set from OP17, which is sure to be even bigger of a hit. So as soon as we get past this, we get to get all the new pre-release cards, all the stuff they're going to be talking about, the starter decks that are coming out that we're all super hyped about. I hope you guys are super hyped about it because those things are going to be fantastic. Curly, good to see you. Refusa, always good to see you. We got some people in the chat. Curly in the WhatsApp too. Thank you so much for getting me on YouTube. Don't forget, if you want your chance to get the free packs by the end of the stream, exclamation point join. We've got 5 total packs left. And what we've been kind of understanding from the ratios, that there's either an Altar or a Gold Dawn in one of these 5. Just one of these 5 packs. So 2 and 3. And the way it's going to work is 3, we're going to give away the last bit of the box this Wednesday, 2 days from today, where we finally close out this box. And you know what that means? We start with a new community box from the newest set. So hopefully I'll be able to lock that in this weekend, because one of the awesome things about going to play at One Piece or Lifelink Games here, one of the best things about doing that is you get the opportunity to buy a box at, not market, MSRP. And we've been doing this since we've established as a store at Lifelink Games. Now, when I say we, I'm not sponsored by them. I don't technically work for them. We're partnered in a way that I do the media and he does the business in the front. I haven't been able to get the capital yet to actually partner with them, but at some point I'm hoping that that will become a reality, and Humbro Pie and Lifelink Games will become one, as opposed to just like the video entertainment side of the Lifelink Games here. But one of the things I've loved working with Lifelink Games on is the fact that we always sell at MSRP, guys. We give you the boxes at what is the recommended price based on the company, and they've been doing a great job of giving us some great allocations and working with the distributors to force the hand of those distributors to give us more product, because they know what we're doing to, one, prevent the scalpers. 1 box per person. We make sure that we only put up sales when we get people to play. You can only get the products if you play. So it really forces people to have to, if you want to scalp, you're going to have to become a player, which means you're going to have to open up some of that product, which I really like about our company. I really love that we do this. And this weekend is sure to be an extravaganza of amazing box openings. I'm going to be going live all weekend with this. Friday, Saturday, we're going to have openings with this stuff. We're going to talk about the pre-release kits. We're going to have so much fun. We're looking at the new cards, playing with the new cards, getting some at the table so you guys can follow them along and see what all the awesome hits are. We're going to be showcasing the manga hits, so we're going to see the SP hits, all the great stuff that we can show to you guys as we go crazy all 3 days at Lifelink Games releasing this set with new kits and new strategies. I love Limited so freaking much. You guys have no idea how much I enjoy Limited, all the card games I play. It is the easiest way to get new players into the game. It is the easiest way to look and get the excitement going, because you can be pulling some amazing cards out of these packs. You could be just going absolutely hog wild with all the thousands of dollars in this pre-sale, because guys, if you guys looked, I'm going to do a little look here on all the pre-sale items for OP, and I'm going to check it out on TCG Player with you guys to give you guys an idea of what this is going to look like going into the weekend. But we've got some crazy good hits you're going to have. And a rule of advice from my Humble channel here, when it comes to these new packs and these new prices, I want to emphasize extremely heavy for you guys. Please take these as a grain of salt. These are what we call FOMO pricing. It's fear of missing out. You have people who are trying to build their decks and they want their decks built day one. So they're going to be buying SRs at max value of like $20+. They're going to be buying rares at $1 to $5 a piece, which we all know are going to tank down. The rares are going to be cents, and the SRs are probably going to be maybe about $2 to $5 unless you have things like Borsalino or other cards that are like Hot Chase, like the Ronor Zoro. There are a few exceptions. Always look at those outliers to see what those exceptions are going to be. We're going to go over together to see what those might be and see what we're going to spec on to say what is the FOMO ridiculousness and where the price is going to settle. So if you're interested in buying singles, do the same thing Lifelink Game does when we do buy singles. When we're going in and we're taking orders, we wait 2 weeks after the set's release, and then we start buying product from individuals, because what we don't want to do is a two-half thing. One, we don't want to screw you over by charging you those singles prices that are in clearly FOMO, and we don't want to buy from those FOMO prices because we're clearly just going to lose money. We don't want you to lose money. We don't want us to lose money. If you're going to get this, you're going to have to sell on the open market, Facebook Marketplace, and try to get the maximum value and hope to find that one person that still has FOMO. But if you're a smart person, try to get there, get the open boxes, trade with what the cards, do your best to do some trading to get some equal value across the board here so people feel like they're getting the cards they need. Help themselves just like we do in our community, where we help people build their decks, help them make things together, help them get the missing pieces with the rares and stuff. We always go all out, and most people get their decks within the first weekend, no problem. We have so many good people out there, the Wolves, so we got the Mohans, we got the Porters, we got all these people that go out of their way, they get a lot of the product, and then they help people get the cards, and they don't charge people those FOMO pricing, knowing they know for sure that those rares will not stay that high. Those SRs, some will be high, but not as high as probably the prices we're looking at here. Uchiha says, all right, exclamation point, join. And Des says, prisoners might be a few dollars. So, yeah, I mean, a prisoner could be a few dollars. That's okay. Going for like a few, $2, $3 in that market value, that's not, you're not really losing a lot. If you do, maybe you lose $1. I think most of us can survive on the loss of $1 in value. The thing that I want to really like kind of showcase to you guys, this isn't like a self-brag about, but it's an example. This was going for over $1,800. $1,800 when this thing dropped. People were freaking the crap out. This is a good card. This is a very hard card to get. This is a very popular card. Do you know what the value of this card is right now? Just over $700+. That's $1,100 in lost value for people who bought into the FOMO and needed that 18. Now, could this thing get up to 18 again? Absolutely. I mean, after a couple of years, we've seen Nami climb. We've seen other cards climb. We've seen a lot of these things go up to these high prices. It's not to say that it won't eventually get back there. But one of the things that I'm trying to warn most of you when it comes to these new cards and what's going on, don't fall for the FOMO. Don't buy into that hype where you're paying these astronomical prices that you just can't recoup unless you hold on to those cards for years and years and years. And if you're still playing the game, which I hope you are, but I don't know what your life's like. Hobbies change. New video games come out. New entertainment comes out left and right. There's a new streamer that's doing better content than me. You might be watching him. Who knows what you're doing, but you could be doing something else instead of playing the game. And I don't want you to lose hundreds, if not thousands of dollars by trying to get in that FOMO market. Fear of missing out is a real thing. It's been used quite a bit. It's exactly how scalpers make their profit. It's exactly how, because they just buy out everything as soon as it gets dropped and like, oh, if you want to get this thing, better buy now at twice the MSRP. Yeah, okay, no. And as you know, if you've been a member of this channel for a long time, you know I hate those scalpers. We work tirelessly every single time we go and open that store to counter what we can against the scalpers. We give awesome deals. We have this great thing with the codexes that just dropped. Things are going crazy with it. We're probably going to be sold out by the end of the day. We tried putting the word out to let people know that the codexes were there, letting people get their first chance at it. It was a limited buy, first come, first serve purposes, only one per person, so you couldn't buy out the stock. And for those that understand anything about Magic, those like premium boxes are the ones that really go up high in price after a while. I'm willing to bet you those things are going to be $300 within like a couple months. Can't guarantee it, but it's just a trend I see with these things. When you get these premium products and these premium things, they go crazy sale, and then you get those scalpers that buy out the market and buy out everything. And there's of course some stuff I want to talk about on like some of the scummy stuff that I'm pretty sure most of you do know, but I do want to make sure that everyone out there is following. If it's for repetitive information, just know that information is not for you. It's for people who might not know, those people that might not understand what these markets are, because there's a lot of new people coming into our game that don't understand how the market works. A lot of parents that are helping their kids play the game, they're like, I don't really know how the money works, but they're saying there's some money in here, these cards, and I don't get it, but they're saying they're worth hundreds of dollars. And yes, they are, but you got to be careful. Dev says, unfortunately, with the OP16 regional mid-June, I feel like a lot of my community will have to pay those prices for singles at least. Devs, I hope that they can wait just 2 weeks. I know the regionals is coming right around the corner. Hopefully you have a good team that can buy a bunch of those boxes, and hopefully you're getting them at good prices. I really hope that the distribution is working heavy to take the boxes away from the whatnot streamers that have been screwing you guys over and putting it back in the hands of the LGSs, your local game store, and helping those people get the boxes, because they are the ones that are supposed to be selling at MSRP, helping the community get the product. It does mean that they have to limit how much they sell you, because obviously they can't be selling cases to people who are just going to turn those into a second-hand market and reflip it on Facebook Marketplace or something. But yeah, you have to be careful with those people. Can't Stop Game says, boom, you just got humbroed. Thank you. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. Humbroed. Michael Rags says, I'm watching you on the airplane. Hey, all right. Hey, so it looks like the space flight's going pretty well. Just tell them it's gold or old coins. Yeah. This, let's say the scarcity makes them valuable, even although they're just cardboard. And it really is. Like, he's talking about talking to parents. If you talk to some old people, just tell them it's coins. Tell them it's something that they understand. It does have value. And yes, these things do have value. And the market with games, where everything is being taken away from you, and all the video games and all the online stuff, and even your Netflix is being taken away from you, all the stuff you thought you owned, the DVDs and all that stuff that we used to actually have collections of, it's all being taken away from you today. They can't take the cardboard away. So this is one market that's still being managed properly. It's thankfully by a lot of people out there that are managing the market for cardboard and showcasing this. You can still own the cardboard, and at the end of the day, make sure that you're not getting kind of like screwed over by companies saying, oh, I'm gonna take that back. You can't have that anymore. Curly says you own nothing and you'll like it. Exactly. That's what everybody's trying to move towards. And I'm like, nah. I think as a society, we can all come to the great conclusion that that's not going to happen. We're not allowing that to happen. The public's not going to have it. I'm not renting a hammer from you. I'm not going to sit there and start have to rent my place of dominance for the rest of my life, or dormitory, sorry, for the rest of my life. I'm not going to have to be a slave essentially to the renters class. This is not going to happen. But in certain things that are media and games, it is moving in that direction. So hopefully, as a community, we can band together to prevent that as best we possibly can. Try not to buy from companies that do that. And don't buy things that you can't possibly own. Kind of deter the market from going in that direction. Do what you can. Use your wallet. Go in that direction. And come over to play some TCGs, because that is where you're going to be able to keep your money. Curly says, you own it until Bandai prints the packs that the cards are rented and you have to turn them back in at the end of the season. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Like, renter packs? I would go insane. I would quit the game instantaneously. And they're like, here, you get the endorphins from opening up that manga, but you got to give us the manga back. Because you can't have that $10,000 card. You get the endorphins, and we get the cardboard back. And, you can rent it out for $15 a minute if you'd like to rent out that manga for that tournament. I would go nuts if that was the case. All right, let's get into our first window here of OP16 and the Lifelink games. All right, like I said, it is the weekend, guys. It is happening. It is coming to our wave this weekend. I am super excited. OP16, all these beautiful leaders. You know your boy's going after Yamato this one. Absolutely. Porcos Diaz, I'm sorry. I looked at all your cards. It's Brick City, brother. I know you're the donut man. I didn't realize you were also the brick house. I don't like, yes, some of those cards can get turned into 2Ks. Yes, if you have certain pieces, you can make it work. I'm not playing a deck that needs to get a piece out to make those other pieces not bricks, okay? I'm not going to have people coming at my face nonstop for the first stages, swinging with those like 2K bodies, knowing that they can get some easy life hits off from me because I can't do anything until I get the piece that makes it a 2K. Like, no. And I have to have the piece on top of that. Sorry, can't. Now, Curly's out there excited for the Goofy, which this is, anybody who hasn't been paying attention, is the green-blue Monkey Luffy, so Goofy, if you will. This deck looks like it's going to have a lot of fun, a lot of things in here. Also, no, I was able to watch a match on a raid last week that had a card that was actually some brilliant yellow tech against this, and now I'm just PO'd. Now I'm just mad. Apparently, let me see if I can remember the card. It was in the card, is it Shiryu? Yeah, let's just get another One Piece thing in here. Little spoilers there for a deck list. I want to say it's a yellow card that kills 2K or less. It's from the no, it's not Shura. No, it's from this deck. What is his name? It's one of the Sky people. Oh, come on. He kills all 2Ks on play. I think he's a 5 cost. Is anybody out there? Wiper. Thank you. 1D Brain. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Hey, hit exclamation point join if you want to get your chance to win a free pack at the end of the stream. But let's go. This thing absolutely insane. All your opponents 2,000 power. Okay, here it is. All right. So this is the SR from OP15, the set that we might be opening tonight to get one of these things. You might want to be specking on this card. This is a pretty disgusting piece of tech if you're playing yellow. And honestly, especially the new meta, this is something you're probably going to want to like main 1 or 2 of. I know it doesn't seem to fit on theme, but I mean, not blue-yellow Nami's going to love it because it's already blue-yellow good stuff. If you're playing yellow, you probably should be looking into this. It's really good into, like, it's decent, excuse me, into certain parts of the Enel matchup, but it is devastating into the new Goofy deck that everyone's been building. So if you guys are out there and you haven't really seen this yet, we actually got to see this live happen to one of the players that we didn't even see what was happening. He freaked out. He's like, what did they just play? My board's gone. And we were like, wait, what? And then we looked at it, I was like, oh no! No. This card, why does yellow need more power-ups in this format? Stop giving yellow power-ups! But they did this, and then they released a new set. And here we go. We're at it again. You may turn one of your turn one card from the top of your life cards face up. Give all your opponents minus 2,000 power during this turn. Then KO all of your opponent's characters with 0 power or less. Bro, like, come on. This is just disgusting. Yellow is gross, right? It's just, there's too much power for yellow, and they're gonna give it this powerhouse of a card. Thank you so much, 1D Brain. I really appreciate that. Like, we've got this card. You guys got to be looking out for this thing, and it makes me sad. I'm happy because I'm going all Yamato, so this card doesn't scare me in Yamato. This will be a brick for you if you're trying to do this to me in Yamato. But yeah, this is absolutely insane tech. I need to keep that card in mind. You really do, Curly. If you're going to be playing this thing, be sure to play around it. Make sure you don't overextend and allow them to just drop that on you. That's just, oh god, I fear for your board if you overextend and are just not prepared for that thing to board wipe you. All right, guys, this weekend it's going to be fantastic. The championship series is on the way. I want to get the days for this thing. We have the Friday at 6:30 p.m. We will be going live in the studio and giving away 2 packs from the new set live in the studio this Friday. And on Saturday, same, not at 1 o'clock, however, but the 6:30, we will be going live yet again and giving away 2 more packs from the newest set. So if you guys can, mark your calendars, put something on there, get the exclamation point join, get your guys' notifications on, because this is going to be your opportunity to get your first chance to get these packs for free just by hitting the exclamation point join either on YouTube or on Twitch. There's your opportunity, like brand new cards you could be getting, who knows? Let's look at the market here in just a minute and see what are the potentials you guys are going to hit. And of course, 1 p.m. on Sunday. So what's really important for everybody here that's in the local area to know, on these days, you can buy 1 box as a player and participant in these events. You're allowed to buy 1 box as MSRP. That is your cheapest you're ever going to find this box, I promise you, because these things are already going crazy online. But you've got that chance to get it. And then if we have an excess amount of boxes after everyone's had an opportunity on Sunday, we're going to be, of course, putting stuff aside for play to make sure that there's always prize support for everyone who's playing the season. Of course, you got to put the box away for the winner of our championship series that's coming to a conclusion here in a couple weeks here. I think we're midway through the season, but of course you're going to have a box of that new set here. So we will be putting that aside. But after all that's put aside, whatever is remaining will be your opportunity to buy some of those boxes at MSRP. How much is MSRP? I believe it's 110. Let's see. There should be, I believe it's 110. There's so much like market value manipulation that let's see, 120. So all the stores should be selling them at around $125 per pack per per your normal pricing. That's the price that Bondi wants us to sell them at. That's pretty good. Mail Justice sells them like 10% over. All right. I mean, some stores, they will use like location. If they're in a big mall, they'll use certain things to like go up, and 10% isn't the worst I've heard. What the worst I've ever heard is getting into TCG player here. Let's see. Is that not going to work? Do I take out the dash? Battle. These are the 16, yeah? Yep. This is the stuff I hate. This is the stuff that's absolutely disgusting. Like these are the things that just piss me off as a person who's trying to enjoy the game. Like, I get it. These things also put up the prices of the singles, but this is ridiculous. Don't pay these prices. Don't buy these cards. Don't fall for the FOMO. Bondi is doing what they can right now, honestly, helping up stores like ours get the boxes at a decent price and get these things so we can get as many as possible to get as many people as possible. The more we can get closer to pallet size, that's when we're going to be able to start selling to people like Devs who lives further away, or some of the other people that might live further away. We are trying to grow to that point where we're getting pallets and pallets of this stuff so we can start selling at MSRP at a greater volume than possible. We have right now the capital to buy it, but it comes down to Bondi to give it to us. Look at where this thing started. Ugh. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's actually crazy. I'm so grateful for Lifelink. I am too. I really am too. Being able to work alongside a company who really cares more about the community than anybody else has been a godsend. I have been so incredibly thankful every single day that I've had the opportunity to work with Lifelink Games, because I know that he tirelessly works through to make ways to make the prices as cheap as possible for you guys to get you in the store, gives you the best price support when you play, and gives you the best environment possible. We do everything we can to make sure that people feel safe, feel welcomed, everyone feels great. There's nobody that feels isolated. Doesn't matter where you're side on the spectrum of anything in life, you are always felt welcome. We try to include you. And if you're disrespectful, we'll try to keep that person in line and ask them to be respectful and get back in line. And remember to respect others and to let those people respect you. And that's the way all life should be. And we do our best to make sure that that is the environment that we curtail here at Lifelink Games. And I could not work with a better company, honestly, with these live streams. It's just been fantastic. I love the partnership we have. I hope to someday just actually be a full-time partner, work in the store with them. We'll get there someday. Someday, we'll get there. But this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about, guys. It's just disgusting. You got 120 as the MSRP, so that's what we're going to be selling ours. Respect indeed. Absolutely. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Yeah, it does, dude. We're getting old, brother. We're getting old. I'm going to be singing that song all day. I hope that gets stuck in all the rest of your heads, even though none of you have heard that song ever. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. I mean, we need to bring that song back. What are the artists doing right now of not bringing that song back? Can we get some artists out there, somebody out there, just put that back out there? Don't say it old. It is old, Curly. We're getting old, brother. We're growing the white hairs on the beard. We're wearing the canes as we walk around outside. I'm not old. Everyone else is just young. Absolutely, Curly. Couldn't agree more. All right, so as promised, I did say I wanted to look at what are the chases, what are people putting out there, what's up here. Let's go up to highest value, high to low, and it took away all of my singles for some reason. What you doing, camera? What you doing? Got my box opening camera's giving me problems. No, we had more product just a minute ago. What happened? Filters is sealed on or something? One Piece card game. English. Is it the English that's the problem? What just happened? I go to high to low and we just lost like everything that we just had from that search. Anyone know what I'm doing wrong here? Best match. We'll just go back to best match. Yeah, we'll just try to go from there. Oh, because the pre-sales don't have actual prices on them right now. So this one, $60. Okay, spec on this one. Alt Art Leaders, $189. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Is this worth it, $189? In 3 years? Sure. I want this card. Don't get me wrong. I'm chasing this card. I want this beyond belief. But I'm not spending $189 on this card, guys. That's just ridiculous. All these Alt Art Leaders, I think Enel is the best thing to use an example of. It is currently being played everywhere. Let's see, $38. This is the chase. This is what everybody's playing. $38. Was he sitting somewhere near here? Probably. Right? That is a ridiculous price. Do not buy at $189 for this leader. This thing will be $40 in a month, if not less. At that point, pick it up. These Enel leaders, I actually want to pick this up. At 40 bucks, I'll pick this up. Why? Because, I mean, certain things do happen. I mean, let's look at some little sleepers here that are like just pirate favorites here. $89. I think that's kind of low, actually. And this thing up a little bit higher. Damaged foil. Yeah, it's a damaged one. But here we go. Did some regular prices. $134. This leader rarely sees play. I mean, there are some locals that are playing it right now for fun and kicks and everything else. But this thing, when it came out, rarely saw any play. Rarely had anything going on for itself. It's $134. It's been years. It can't even be played in regular right? Yeah, it's block one. It can't even be played in the actual format unless you're playing Legacy. The Legacy format, this thing just gets all crapped on. It's a card that will eventually, after what, 3 years, grow back up into that 134 markup that we're seeing right here. But this is too high, guys. This is too high. 39 Roll says it'll be 1/3 of the price in 3 weeks. Absolutely, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And we got Curly saying the normal arts in the set aren't too much better. I agreed. Like, here we got alt arts, $80. No, this thing will be, if it sees a lot of play, it might get down to $60. If it sees no, like, limited and it doesn't become the top tier deck, this will be 20 bucks easy. This Newgate, 20 bucks? No, I know it's good. I know people want to play it. I put this at $10 maximum in 3 weeks. What else we got? I'm just going on things I can see right now. Boa Hancock, I mean, obviously there's some pull for this. This is kind of a neat deck for the Goofy deck, but I'm willing to bet you this thing's going to be about 15, 10 bucks here in 3 weeks. Let's see what else we got. $6 for a common? $6 for a common? Are you kidding me? This thing's going to be 5 cents in 2 weeks, in less than a week. Don't buy this at $7. This will be 5 cents. I promise you. That Boa is also going to be wild and red, green, Luffy. I can see it being good, Curly, but alt arts are where the money is. Alt arts are where you really want to start. Like, that's where the value of these cards are at. In SR like that, unless it's overwhelmingly good, and like Borsalino was good in just anything yellow. That's why it was good, $25 plus. It was sitting around 40 for a long time. All those cards that are like universally good in all the different decks, those will sit around the $25, $30 mark range. Like Kuma, Secret Rare had its difference because Secret Rares are considered hits out of boxes, not guaranteed, so those are harder to hit. But when it comes to Super Rares, your basic SRs, guys, those things shouldn't be anywhere over around 10 bucks unless it's universally popular, and it'll sit there around $25 at your high points, right? Hey, welcome. Good to see you, little pound cake. Thank you so much. But yes, we've got all these different prices. Like, oh my gosh, $5 for Kazuki Mononosuke. A rare? No, no. This is gonna be $1, guys. It's gonna be $1. We've got, okay, Altar Sengoku 149. No, this thing's gonna be. This is an unplayable leader, guys. This is an unplayable leader right now. I'm sorry, but there's too many pieces that need to have into this thing. To $150, that's no. I'm sorry. This thing will be $20 at best. You'll probably see this thing go as low as like maybe $15. I don't see a whole lot of Sengoku fans pushing this thing up here much higher. This will probably be around $20. Is my starter here. I think the mangas of the set are going to be cheap in comparison to the other mangas, and I agree with you there too. And the reason that what Devs is saying here, these are less popular characters. I mean, we're talking about like what happened to, what's the cheapest right now? I think the cheapest is it Silver's Rayleigh is the cheapest? Isn't that right? Silver's Rayleigh is the cheapest manga art here. And like, yeah, $6.35. I think if we typed in One Piece manga. Is there a filter I'm not checking out here? Manga rare. Yeah. So we can kind of look at these things. These things will probably settle themselves somewhere around the $500 mark. Kobe, not that real popular. Mihawk, a little bit more popular, obviously more than Kobe. But Anel, even kind of low here at $1,100 here. It's your main Straw Hat, your Buggies, definitely, your Sanji, your more beloved characters. Even the Sabo manga, really down low. This might be the reprint from the EB, if you remember correctly. But yeah, you guys look at like popular characters, stuff that have like major play in the storyline here. Yeah, I'm guessing these things are probably going to be around $500. I think, yeah. So, I mean, you guys could tell me if you think I'm wrong, but I'm guessing, honestly, these things are probably going to sit around $500 a piece for it. So, not the greatest set to get the mangas, but, ooh, some of the SPs. Let's look at some of these SPs. Hopefully, they're going to see some good prices on that. Vista, Altart here. $200 for Porcas Ace. No, man, this thing's going to be like, I like Porcas Ace. He might be a $50, $60 one just because of fan favorite. But... $200? I don't think so. Oh, that buggy made you sick. Seeing it like how big? I sold a PSA 10. Oh no! That's why you sit on those PSA 10s, Devs. You sit on those PSA 10s. Yes, it's 1,500 raw. Those PSA 10 would have been huge. You get a 10, you sit. You sit until you think the game is gonna die. Like you die with that card, bro. Unless you desperately need money. But man, you get a PSA 10, you hang on to that. Beef Patty, good to see you. Kuzan Altart, this one will probably be decently cheap here due to popularity of a card. What are we getting here? Any other prices I can see? $7 for a common. No, do not pay this price. This is 5 cents. This Momonosuke is like $1 at best. Let's see what else we got here for some Altarts here. Just look for things that do have some kind of like recommended price here. Tony Chopper, okay, this is $1,000. I would pay $1,000 for this card. So, one exception here, you could put this at $1,000. You could clearly see he's in combat mode. He's all out. This Tony Chopper, clearly $1,000, guys. Sure, FOMO, let's figure it out. I think it should be up there. What do you think, Beef Patty? You think it's up to $1,000? Buggy. Oh, no price on this one. This one I think would be one of the highest selling Altarts, honestly, to the fandom of what we got. This and Luffy will probably be the highest out of all of them, if you ask me. Sold? Yeah, absolutely, Devs. Zahaha! This one's probably going to be over $100 easy. Easy. Over $100. Sakazuki, this one will probably drop down to $60. Maybe 40 or 20, depending on how bad it is. See what else we got. Yeah, Borsellino, 80, same thing. These things will all be in the $40 range soon. Who's doing this? What madman is trying to sell these things for $7? Mini Pro card games. You are a mad person. This is sickening. You already have 4 of them trying to sell them for $7. Like, that is some sick mess if you're trying to get the FOMO for this. Open up some of your stock, getting ready for the singles. $80 for Buggy. You know, honestly, I can see this actually sitting pretty high, like sitting closer to this. This isn't the most terrible price I've seen. This Boa, $200? Maybe. It's just an alt art though, not an SP. Maybe. I can see this thing probably settling at $100. We got alt art Ace. Yeah, this will be probably around $80. This, as much as people want to play Teach, this won't be $200. It's crazy prices on these things. Let's go to the next page here. $80 for Edward Newgate alt art. No. No. No! I'm telling you, this thing's gonna be like $20. 20 to $40. Sure you? Okay. I mean, nice alt art. Or full art here. Maybe about $20. The Marshall D Teach being one of the key cards for the deck, I can see this one going around $50. Marco Lynchpin, I'm actually surprised it's kind of low right now. Because I would expect this thing to settle around $40-50. Luffy here in red, maybe sells around 15. Alt art of Luffy here. I'll put it around 60 bucks for a little bit here. This is surprisingly probably the most accurate listing I've seen yet. But wait, is that not an alt art? No, it's just a regular. Never mind. I thought this was an alt. It looked at got on the edges. I was like, oh, this is an alt. That's probably the most accurate alt pricing I've seen. Buggy at $20. Sorry, Buggy fans. Ain't happening. I'm worried about Prisoners of Impel Down the most. Yeah, I could see that one going for about 1 or 2. I wouldn't pay much more than 1 or 2. Because the Prisoners are common if I'm right. 1D, right? And a $1 to $2 isn't terrible. I don't know what the pull rate is for those. But the Prisoners, if am I wrong? Isn't it not an uncommon or common? I vaguely remember that when we covered it down. It's a rare? Oh, yeah, that's probably going to be around $5 then. It is going to be like the most expensive rare in One Piece for a while here. But it's going to get down to $5 1D. It's going to get one. It has to. $9 for this rare? I don't think so. Not in any lifetime. All right, they got Moby Dick back. I missed that. All right, Alt Art Secret Rare, maybe $80. Now these I want to hear your guys' predictions. I would love to hear you guys' predictions. I'm gonna probably come back to this after the set settles in 2 months and see how right I was. Kind of like review my own video of seeing what it was. But I'm kind of curious what you guys are thinking, because I'm thinking right now the Cavendish 250. I think 250. Tashigi 330. Port Gastiers, I'd probably put him around 600. Katakuri around 5. It's a really good card and it sees a lot of play. These two will be the chases. I'll give this one settling at 800. And because it's Robin, 850. You got that waifu text. So I would say, honestly, looking at these two will be the top selling of the two SPs. And you guys, if you might be out there like, why would I put Kuma up there? If you haven't seen the show, you have no, or like even the I think it's on the actual, it's been printed to the anime already. But if you haven't seen it yet, this is an iconic scene. Like, I rejoiced when I saw this. I was flipping out. The internet went crazy with this. And if you guys remember, the biggest manga to sell was when Monkey D. Luffy got into Gear 5th. And that was the one that everyone was selling. And not to mention the set was a little bit shorter print, but that was the one that like the internet was freaking out about how cool it was to see him in Gear 5th. So the first time they put him in manga, it's the most expensive one out there next to the Goldie Roger Gold card or the red versions of the mangas from, what was it, OP13? The red set, the red one. You guys know what I'm talking about. 13, 12, it's one of the red sets. But this scene right here, oh my gosh. Talk about good feels. I've been saying since I saw that in the panel that this needs to become a card. So I'm chasing this. I want this more than anything. I won't be playing yellow, probably anything, but I want this more than anything. It looks too good. But I'm curious at home what you guys think. Tell me what you guys think. I know these numbers look a little bit weird. My mouse skills aren't the greatest here. But what do you guys think? You think I'm way off here? I think Portgot's definitely higher than Charlotte. This one's good. Tashigi has had like 15 SPs. I've been watching them. They really settle around 350. I like my Smoker and Tashigi's more than anything. Cavendish, good draw card. Just, I mean, like, this is a staple card. I'd love to have 4 of these in my Lucy deck. But, I don't know. I mean, it's not there. It doesn't do it for me here. But definitely Miss All Sunday, Kuma. These will be the top chases. I'd love to see Kuma beat this one even, but let's be real, guys. It's Nico Robin. You can't really compete with Nico Robin. Am I right? Am I right? These are my predictions. They're in the books. We'll be reviewing this video here in about a month, if I can hopefully remember here, and coming back to this and seeing how right I was about some of the settling prices of these TCG markets. What's important to take home, don't fall for FOMO, guys. Don't fall for it. I get it. There's going to be some crazy demand for some of these cards. There's going to be some crazy demand to get your decks together. Work with your friends. Try to get as many boxes as you possibly can. Help each other build the decks. Wait out the storm. Get the people that are trying to get to the ready for their regionals or their stuff qualified. Help each other out. Create a team if you can to kind of pool your resources to support each other and get the people out there performing with the decks that they need to, and avoid as much as possible this FOMO market. Guys, I cannot tell you how many times I've seen this happen every single season. People are talking about cards and, oh my god, this thing is worth $500. It's not. It's a good card. It's $900. It's like $90. Maybe it might be lower now. Might be like $70. My point is that you fall for the FOMO. You spend $400 on this card because you really want it, and Nico Robin is like out there and like everybody wants the card, and then you're losing your money. And you can recoup it maybe in a couple of years. It sits and rots in a binder. You got to keep it nice and clean. Got to keep it nice and not hurt or anything. You really got to be taking good care of it. Get it graded if you possibly can, and just sit on it. Sit on it for a long time. But don't fall for FOMO. Don't fall for it. And if you're out there and you're not in the local area, remind them that there are stores that are trying to take care of their player base, and then Bondi is recognizing those stores, and they're looking out for people like us, and they're giving us the product. So if they're charging 10% higher than MSRP, whatever, you can justify it with your location maybe. But if you're charging like the prices we're seeing in TCG Player, that's criminal. It is absolutely criminal. Don't buy into it. Don't feed the machine. Do your best not to get into that stuff. It is going to save you so much money in the long run. Thank you so much, my King Yamato! My King Yamato indeed. It's a follow. Appreciate that. It's a deck I'm going to be playing here soon. I cannot wait to play Yamato. Thank you so much. Hey, hit exclamation point join. Happy Pride Month, buddy. I want you to get yourself an opportunity, please, to get one of these packs. Please hit this. Please. Good to see you, my King Yamato. I love it. We're going to be taking a quick break. And when we come back, we've got 3 rounds of this amazing One Piece card game ready to go. I got all 3 of these things ready. The deck lists are ready. And on Patreon, if you guys want to check them out for free. You guys can check out these deck lists up to date. And absolutely, you can support the channel with like $1 a month or nothing. You can get those deck lists and you can just be a good patron, and I can start calling you out at the end of my videos. Thank you so much. But my King Yamato, please, exclamation point join for your chance to win one of these 2 packs. If you're watching this on YouTube, you missed an opportunity. It's all right. But, I mean, live on you're fine. But if you're watching this replayed, obviously, it's too late. We got 3 rounds of content coming your way, and when it happens, it's gonna happen. We're gonna be giving away some amazing packs with either Gold Dawn or an Alta Art Rare, potentially in these packs. We're excited. Let's get into it. All right, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, some One Piece card games. We'll be right back.
watching. Now it's time to show them. Losing's not an option. So I'm locked and loaded. You see them colors, right? Boy, that's family pride. And when it's all said and done, we'll hang that banner high. I am to the ceiling, legends in the building. I'm the hero and the villain, depending on how you spin it. Taking out the competition, I enjoy the feeling. Yeah, I came here on the mission, nothing stopping me from getting it. I'm going for the gold, going for the gold. Nothing less than number one, I'm laser focused in my zone. Yeah, I do it for my city, yeah, I'm rapping for the whole team. Reach the highest level, all striving for that one thing. Raise up, raise up, raise up, raise, raise up, raise up, raise up, raise, raise up, raise up, raise up, raise. Going bigger, going home, yeah, going for the gold. I'll give everything that I have in this moment. I'll give the best of me and show I am the strongest. I never failed a dream, it's just how bad you want it. We bout to wreck the scene, good luck to my opponent. I'm a beast, a machine, I'm a monster. Bring the heat like the steam from a sauna. Off the leash, me and my team, we bring the drama. We believed anything we can come. Yeah, high up to the ceiling, legends in the building. I'm the hero and the villain, depending on how you spin it. Taking out the competition, I enjoy the feeling. Yeah, I came here on a mission, nothing stopping me from getting it. I'm going for the gold, going for the gold. Nothing less than number one, I'm laser focused in my zone. Yeah, I do it for my city, yeah, I'm rapping for the whole team. Reach the highest level, all
Welcome back to Humbro Pie. I'm your host, Jimmy D, and we're back again for an awesome day of One Piece gameplay. We've got 3 games back to back to back of watching some people playing the last of what we're going to see of this OP 15 meta. This is it, guys. And now all the rest of them probably still going to be a thing in the coming meta, but honestly, we're going to see some shakeups because right this weekend, we're getting our hands on the newest set of OP 16. I'm super excited. I can't wait to get my hands on a Yamato deck, see how well that one plays. It's going to be fantastic. I hope the rest of you guys are looking out for those Goofy decks, the Blackbeard decks, all the rest of the fun stuff. We got a nice Impel Down comeback for even possibly Hannibal. Who knows? We also have some amazing cards released for Shanks and hoping to see him back in the format. Me, personally, the one thing that I want to see the most is that we do see a diverse meta yet again. Something that's not so tiered to just Yellow running the format over and over again, which who knows, Blackbeard might just do it. It might just be more of just the Yellow constantly dominating with a Nell trying to keep him in check as best as possible. Who knows? It's just, it is the meta we're living in right now, but I think they're doing a decent job on card design. There's some crazy power-ups and crazy power increases coming from this new set, and I hope you guys are ready this weekend to go to your local LGS and get your hands on some of these amazing new cards, because it is going to be a feisty, fun, new format. We have, like I said today, 3 different decks here, and while I'm talking to you, because I just realized I did everything by myself, but I forgot to do the change of the leaders for our first match here. But we do have Boa. Zombie's back at the table. Everyone might remember Zombie from last week, the one that just beat up on that poor little kid. Yep, just beat up on that poor little kid with the blue-yellow Nami deck and just kicked this brand new player out with her rough dominance. Has decided to switch back into blue-yellow Boa Hancock this time to see if she can get amends for the deck of her choice when it comes to those two. But I hope you guys had fun with that. I did talk to her. It was all in the name of fun. We were all just joking, and she actually took it quite well. Actually, really strong champion about that one. She understood that we were just out there for fun, and that kid actually had a blast, by the way. So one of the things that don't take away from it, that kid who was playing for the first time got to meet up with our entire organization and actually had a blast playing the game, and he's super excited. He even came back Saturday, and we got to see him again, and he's looking forward to getting himself on camera. I have a match with him and Shay that I'll be recording here soon, and I want to get that thing out to you guys, where he was super excited to get his opportunity the first time to get on camera, and I'm going to take him up and see if we can do a nice little shout out for him. Welcome to the community, because we got a bunch of new people coming into our community, and hopefully out there for you as well. But I'm really excited. Today we have this matchup. I cannot wait to showcase these decks. Of course, we're going to be quick with the deck stuff because I've seen you guys' YouTube videos. You guys hate long, gated stuff, but let's talk about what these decks can do. All right, starting off with Boa Hancock here. Opponent's turn. When you play a character, draw a card. When your opponent, so you get, basically, if you haven't figured this out, this deck's all about triggers from life because it's saying on opponent's turn. So a lot of these cards are going to be coming out for free from life, making it a little bit more dangerous when you're swinging into this yellow deck, which yellow is always about this. You're swinging into it, you hit those triggers, and now you're just giving them free bodies. And this is actually as old as the red-yellow Sabo deck that played heavily on this thing, but didn't get rewarded as much as this blue-yellow deck did. Now also, Downtime's one once per turn. When one of your Amazon Lily or Kuja type pirate characters with 5,000 base power or more are KO'd, up to one of your, you get to basically do damage to one of your opponents. So on top of getting all these free characters that you're going to get from life, hopefully, if the triggers go in your favor, you're also going to have an opportunity to make sure that if they end up dying, that, hey girl, you're good. If they end up dying, you end up just taking a life from them. Now, this will not KO the opponent like the Nico Robin, but it will definitely do some life, and it'll be a little bit more devastating. So it makes trying to clean up this board very, very scary. Best thing to do, rest it, keep it rested, frozen, or bottom deck it, get it out of the way, which is what blue likes to do here. We do have some blockers here for the Boa, which is really good to combo with this one. So as long as you have one down underneath it, blocking here will guarantee take a life from them, making it a little more dangerous to swing into. Borsalino, which has been an absolute menace since its printing here. Love this blocker here. Gets you an added life here, something that's just been used to extreme, and this is why, because it was so good in every deck, that's why this thing set around 25 bucks. Of course, we have the rest of the Kuja Pirates that do come out from life, and of course, we have the big mom that is Boa Hancock in this set here. On play, if your leader has a 7 Warlords of the Sea type, Add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards, then add up to 1 card from the top of your opponent's life to their hand. So, gain 1, take 1, a 2-life swing when this 9 cost starts dropping down. Of course, Kuma out there with the life gain. Got some Silver's Rayleigh to answer some of the threats that you might have on the board. And just cards you don't want to hit. You don't want to kill the Nami, just going to replace itself with a 6,000 power. And probably the most devastating and key card of this deck is getting out the Gorgon Sisters. This one absolutely insane. You can reveal 3 Amazon or Kuja type pirate type cards from your hand. Give one of your leaders and all of the characters 1 Rested Dawn. So if you have this out, or even multiple, it's really good. You can start playing that and start pumping up your characters in those necessary 7k swings if you get enough of these characters out. It's pretty strong. I love what this deck does. Not the strongest of blue yellows currently, mostly because the Nami being able to play the Thriller slot is a little more consistent with its triggers, but when the triggers hit, this deck wins. Now, this one going up against the blue-purple Sanji deck, this one's really been moving more and more into these events. I couldn't get the exact number from Variable just before this thing started, but he's definitely playing with some even new cards that I kind of think is a great add here. Mamaragan, not leader locked here for Sky Island. Don -2, draw a card, then rest up to one of your opponent's characters with 5,000 power or less. Not bad. Get around a blocker. Really good answer. Get a card replaces itself, and a very good effect. And if you guys don't know about what this leader's all about, it's about events, guys. It's all about events. Don -1, activate one of your straw type event cards with a cost 3 or less from your hand for free, essentially. And when attacking, if the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number on your opponent's field, add up to 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck and set it and rest it. Now, most of the time against other decks, this deck does a number on minusing Dawn. The deck that this deck has a biggest problem against, obviously, and no. Limited to 6 Dawn per turn, it's very hard to manipulate and get those free costs. Like, you want the Sanji to be a cheaper cost when you have more Dawn out there, or less Dawn, excuse me, out there. And you really want to play around it. So this one kind of fell out of the meta, but given that you can dodge some NL players, and especially our locals here, this is still a very strong deck. A lot of 4K counters, a lot of great events that like to cycle through the deck, fill up the hand, fill yourself up with some nice little blockers that get rewarded for having events in here. And of course, the namesake, we got Sanji here, that this character gains plus 1,000 for every 5 events in your trash, and this character would be removed from the field by your opponent's effect. You can return 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck face up to your Dawn deck instead. And this isn't a once per turn. So, anti-removal on a stick here. Now, obviously, it has to be by an opponent's effect, not by battle. But you're really not swinging with this thing until it gets up to the point where it's like 8, 9k. And that's when it's already kind of difficult to get these things off the board. So I know that definitely Variable is going to be heavily looking and trying to establish a board full of these Sanjis and hoping to get through all those triggers. And we're going to find out right now, between these two, which one is going to take down round 1. We got Rivers, Zombie, head-to-head, and already Sanji in hand here for Rivers. So a good start. Likely not going to see too much of a turn 1 play from Rivers here. Didn't see anything. Oh, no, he like do a cycle here. Get a nice little search. Look at the top 3. Looking for an event. Yep, going to grab ourselves another searcher. And pass back. Zombie going to go up to 2. Imagine die roll here probably in River's favor because this being the turn, like, this deck really likes going first. It can be quite aggressive. And of course, it wants to keep the lower Dawn on the turns a lot easier when you're going first than second. You don't have to use those Dawn minuses to get there. Starting off with Sengoku, it's going to restack the top of the deck here for Zombie. Or just take the card looking for here. Getting a nice little Akuma from the hand here. And pass it back to turn with one open. Now, if I'm on Zombie here, I probably would have attached the Dawn. Not because it was going to make too much of a difference. But mostly because you really just want to be prepared for anything. I mean, obviously, Rivers isn't going to be able to double attack here with the current board state. But out of force of habit, I do recommend people try to, if you got that extra Dawn, put it underneath your leader. It's not going to do much, but at least you keep the habit. It's important to create good sequencing, good practices. I mean, good practices in life here, too. Got to search for the Gum Gum Giant here from Rivers. But yeah, you want to practice this behavior constantly, especially when you're playing these card games. A lot of decision making goes into each one of the turns, which can be extremely exhausting for those that haven't played these games in the long term. You want to be able to limit the amount of decisions you need to make, so make habits out of certain behaviors. And I like what Rivers is doing here. Setting up his grave. He's already got 5 up here. We're going to keep the rows of 5 to represent how many he has. Exactly. Don minus here to be able to play this one for free using leader ability. Rereading the card here. Wants to make sure he's playing it right here. And going to get an active Dawn. Didn't play it or did play it? Now I'm wondering what happened. He decided not to play it. That's what happened. He just said, no, I'm not going to play it this turn. We're just going to go for 6. Zombie on the take. Do we have a trigger? It'd be a good start. Here we go. And remember the draw card here. Already getting a body. Now, given Rivers had any kind of capability of like basically getting rid of this Rin, the Dawn underneath actually could have given an opportunity to like basically deter that option that Rivers may have had. Now, obviously, this early in the game, not likely going to be the case. But just because it's not likely doesn't mean you shouldn't do it out of practice. So 4 Dawn turn here for Zombie. Already has 2 bodies in the field. Already looking pretty good. Starting off with a bow. Oh, excellent boa blocker here. Get a look at the top 3. Resort those. Make sure that she's got some good draws coming up here. But already with a good position. Now, this is not the turn she's going to want to block, given she doesn't have the rest of Dawn underneath and doesn't have a way to do it just yet. But getting a Gorgon Sisters from life here would be absolutely devastating. I stand mistaken. She does have enough for another. Or am I wrong? No, wait. I think the boa actually adds the rest of Dawn, which is even better. So boa, even like setting up the boa here. My bad. Oh, I forgot about that secondary ability. Yeah, boa's going to be adding that rest of Dawn here. And Rin with a 2. So we got a basic 7 coming in here. Asking for 2. Going for leader. I really recommend swinging character first, but it looks like Zombie was not willing to sacrifice the Rin just yet, so just makes sense. Didn't want to put that thing vulnerable here. But given how fat River's hand is right now, you definitely want to start trying to get through it. 2 copies of the Mamaragan for the plus 1k counter if necessary. It also has an ability to rest one of those characters too. But with the given Dawn, I don't think Rivers is going to want to start going board. Starting off with a Sanji. Plus 1,000 because they're already 5 in the yard. But given that we have their given Dawn, I mean, it's even more of a reason I think I would have swung with the Rin regardless. I know that you're trying to protect it, but honestly, when you have the Dawn underneath the boa, you already have the turret on the leader. So, honestly, I would have just swung with it regardless. 2 open Dawn here for Rivers. We'll see if he wants to leave those open for defense activations here. Could go into 5 with a simple, 1k counter block or free block here from Boa. But looks like we're going to basically do some ramping, so we get 2 copies of Sanji out here. And nope, not willing to play defense here. A little risky. Coming in for 7, going in for 6. Wants to leave one open for defense, makes sense. Could get ourselves a block and a 1k if we want to for Zombie, or take a hit. Do we have a trigger? We do. Another Marguerite hitting the field. 2 triggers back to back. Zombie, remember to draw the card. Gonna get the search on first, I guess. Hopefully Zombie remembers to draw the card from this play here, but we're gonna get the search. See what we get. Hopefully maybe some Boa Sisters. Be a powerful addition to the board here. Nope, going for Shaki Yaku. The previous goddess. Alright, coming in for 6, gets a 2k out of hand, passing back the turn. Zombie saving these blockers for a little bit late game here. Makes sense. Definitely, if I'm Zombie, I want to put a little more pressure up here against Rivers. Get some swings on. We have plenty of bodies here. An optimal play right here, given that we are at the 6th on turn. I would really like to see a Boa Sisters be really strong play here to start getting some of these the bodies out. You got a nice little 6k body, giving an allocated Dawn to all of the characters. Simply by showing off 3 of these sisters, like if she has it too. It's another one of the things with that card, you definitely have to build your deck around having more of the Kuja Pirates, making it near impossible for it to put the Thriller slop, if you will, into the deck. So, we'll see how Zombie wants to navigate this one. Tapping what looks like all 6. So, oh, here we go. We got Kuma for the life gain here. Decent play here. Rin gonna be able to take one of those rested Dawn hopefully and get it underneath the leader here. Still recommend, I'm telling you, I'd still recommend definitely getting some swings in. I know she wants to protect it to keep the ability out there, but make them swing into it. Make them regret it. All right, attach to the Dawn. Think we're about time to start swinging. Start the ladder. I like it. 5, getting a 1. And a draw card. 5, getting the 1. And draw a card. And here comes 6, looking for 2. I like that she's pressuring the hand here, getting some necessary hits out of here. We'll see if he's willing to give up a 4K counter for a simple 1K, for a 2K counter. But no, willing to take. No trigger here for Rivers. Back to Rivers. 7 Dawn turn here. See what he happens to do with this. A lot of defensive plays here. Does have some cycling. We'll see what he does. Going to start search on here. Looking like he's going to get that 2K raid suit. Sanji. Add it to hand. Believe he's supposed to reveal those. But we got 5 and 5 here. I'm sorry, for rows of events here. So now all of them going up to 2K. These Sanji's now at 7K power. See if Rivers decides to go board or life here. Tapping what looks like 3. Are we going to put out a blocker? Nope, another copy of Sanji. So 3 copies of Sanji have now officially hit the field. 3 7K bodies. We do have the potential to swing at least 3 times. 7K being the optimal swing here. Don't forget, we do have that boa that can take a life here. Rivers got to be careful. All right, using an event. Drawing a card. Looks like a Tama off the top here. And reducing it. Here we go. 5 into it. I believe that means they're going to have to start taking a life here, bud. Yep. Rivers not realizing going board here. Not really the optimal play when you have 1 Dawn underneath it. So going to take a life. That might deter him from doing that again. Now, 2 that he has to worry about boa. I believe that is a once per turn, though. So right now, Zombie's going to have to defend this turn. But see, that would have been an optimal play last turn. Get those double life hits here. Oh, going to take it again, but smart because it is only once per turn. So can go board stay. Here comes another 7. Take. Do we have a trigger? Zombie's been good for 2. Are we going to see a 3 for 3? 3 for 3. Silver's relay trigger here. Just hitting them left and right here. And she tried to remove one of those Sanjis. However, he was able to return a Dawn to protect it. Something I'm not sure Zombie was too familiar with here. But regardless, Borsalino, the play here. Another blocker and getting himself a nice little 1 life. Getting herself a nice little 1 life. 3 Dawn open. See if she goes in for a decent swing. We have Kuma, obviously, is a free swing here. Doesn't matter. What is he going to do? Kill that? Gain him a life? On top of, like, well, it's not Kuja Pirates, so. Still has some opportunities. That bow is definitely going to be a threat for that last life here. I like an attack here. Get some more cards out of the hand here for Rivers. We'll see if we see it. She's debating about it. Or did she pass back? 3 open Dawn. Here comes, all right, our first attack here. Going into Sanji, looking for some counter here. Gets it with Utama. Tapping 3, 8. This one going towards, it looks like, yeah, it looks like another Sanji. So, Zombie, not bad, not bad. I mean, you know you're going to take a life here using the block from Boa here. So that is honestly not a bad play. And we know what that last one's going to happen. So if you spend the last turn going life and get that guaranteed counter out of hand here, as Rivers is trying to keep these Sanjis alive. Now, this could be the turn that Rivers realizes that if he doesn't start doing something now and try to get through some of these blockers, it could be his last turn. Because he's got to do something about this Boa. Looks like we're going to go searching. Draw on 2. See if we want to activate leader ability to draw 2 more. Looks like we have another draw card here. Do have 2 4K counters here. I'm gonna get another search on. Look at the top 4 here. 5. Mamaragan probably gonna be the choice here. No, all right. Going for the black suit event here. Still 2 events away here from making 3K bonus to all these Sanjis. We'll see if Rivers can make it happen. He is using leader ability here for the 3. Trying to remember what this thing does. Good on him to at least reading the card. Who says we don't read cards? All right, bottom deck. That does get around the KO ability. Good answer here for Rivers. And able to get through that last damage take here. So, 1 blocker down, and 1 you don't have to worry about having to lose a life for. River's only 1 event away from having these things, all these Sanjis at 8K. We'll see if he wants to use the last 4 of his Dawn to play one just to get them up. Could be a good answer. He's looking like it. It will mean he can't play too much defensively here. Which means he can't keep up too many of those 4K counters in hand. Nope, just gonna go here. Just playing the turns of 7. All right, 7s all day. Let's see 7 coming to life. Looking for 2 or the block. On the trigger here, Zombie. Zombie, do we have another trigger? 3 for 3. Are we gonna go 4 for 4? Doesn't look like it. Usually revealed at this point. So only 3 for 4 here in triggers is Zombie. Or she's still debating on it. Could go 4 for 4. Nope, going 7. Yep, here comes 7. Zombie has the opportunity, looking like really on the take here. Gonna take a life though. All right, gonna take the block. Here comes another 7. Zombie can probably gonna have to lean on life or give up 2 cards. Gonna take a life. Do we have a trigger? 4 for 5. Boa Gorgon Sisters have hit the board here. Excellent draw from the play. This could be the turn the tide if she's able to get through both of these 4K defenses in hand here. But here comes 7. Are we going to get up to 2? Looks like we are. Rayleigh, another copy of Gorgon Sisters. River's going to recount out how many of the events he has here. Still sitting at 14, 1 shy of making these Sanjis 8Ks. Zombie probably should realize this is going to be do or die time. This is the time you really want to go for it. You maximize your resources here. Get as much out of hand. Maybe get the Sengoku swing in. Get the Gorgon Sisters swing in here. Play something so you can use the Gorgon Sisters to get some of that Rested Dawn. Maybe get out, I don't know, a smaller body if possible here. Optimally, something at 4 costs so they can get 4 Rested Dawn out. But does have to have 3 sisters in order to activate this. Or 3 Kuja Pirates. So we'll see what Zombie wants to do with this. In the tank here at full 10 Dawn. Rivers, for some reason, showcasing his 10 cost Dofi here. I guess saying I would love to be able to play this, but I've Dawn minus too much. I'll never see this card. Or in trash here. So Zombie gonna have to think this one through. Probably thinking about maybe playing a Boa game. I don't really recommend this one. Yes, it does take a life. Yes, you do gain a life. You got to make sure that all of your hits after this end up hitting. So that would mean you'd only have one Excess Dawn and a 7k out of one of the leader or the Gorgon sisters, and then of course the Kuma. But we know River's sitting on 2 4k counters in hand. So not the most optimal swings here. Zombie, honestly, probably better off allocating the Dawn and trying to go for some big swings. Get him to use both of those 4k counters and then going in for the last 2 swings. Got to remember, Sanji does play with a lot of events, and not like Lucy, they cannot turn those things into counter. Lucy able to turn those things into nice little 1ks. Sanji not with that benefit. So as we're seeing a lot of bricks in hand here for River. Does have a 2k with the Raid Suit Sanji. I think a 1k with the Otama here. Or 2k. I can't remember Otama's 1 or 2k. Alright. Nice. Boa. Blocker. Good play. Gonna have access to 4 Rested Dawn. Now activate the Gorgon Sisters. Put Rested Dawn from those 4. Nope, but now only has 3 Dawn, so... I mean, you could avoid the Sengoku swing here. Reveal, here comes another Kuma. Going for another life gain here. Discarding card. Maybe the Zombie doesn't have the 3 Kuja Pirates. Because if she does, this is the time to reveal. Yep, we do have it. 1, 2, and 3. 2 9-cost bows, so we know it definitely... Oh, 2 bricks. Showing 2 bricks is not great. Oh, but we do get to get those allocated Dawn here. So gonna get at least a 7k out of lead. 6k from the sisters. Already swinging 6. Gonna get the 2. 7. Probably gonna get the Concassor. And then maybe Gum Gum Giant afterwards. Yep, there's a Concassor. And 8. Probably gonna see themselves on a nice little... Gum Gum Giant to defend out of this swing. Kind of sad to see it, but the Zombie not out of the game yet. Could still survive by the swings here, but not looking good. Given we saw this 8 to swing out of here. Looks like we're going to see Gum Gum Giant. We are. Discard a card. Return 2 Dawn to the Dawn deck. Draw 2 cards. And now, yep, these Sanjis are already up to 8k. Just from the Concassor play. 2 events drawn off the top there. Looks like we had a nice little draw and another Concassor. Rivers, now down to 2 life here. Needs to fight through. Has 1 blocker to worry about. Needs to probably handle that. Does have removal in hand for the blocker again. Zombie with no way to protect it from the bottom decking. Going in... Yep, gonna take that last life here with the Boa. So now, Rivers should know, do or die here. Has to come up with some kind of strategy to try to swing in and get those last 2 points of life. Here comes 8. On the take, do we get a trigger? We're 4 for 5. Are we gonna go 5 for 6? No, we're gonna 4 for 6. And 5 for 7? Yes, Gorgon Sisters off the play here. Draw a card. But it means we have to be able to defend against a swing. Massive swing, and all those bricks, sadly, not going to be enough. Rivers closing the gap. Recognizing the end of game, and sadly, Zombie revealed so many many bricks. Sadly, with the gravity bind, just not able to do it. Down -1 would have taken care of that. Just a dead card in Zombie's hand. And that's going to do it for round 1. Blue Purple Sanji, having fought through all of those triggers. We had a nice 4 for 7 for Zombie out of the triggers from life here. Or 5 for 7, I think, out of the Kuja Pirates here. But only missing 2. Not bad, not bad. Sadly, just not able to push in for the last little bit to get through that life points and totals here. Personally, I think trying to get those last couple of hits. And honestly, the real slump started when she tried to protect one of those 5k bodies, and instead of allowing Rivers to learn early that swinging in the board was not going to be to his benefit. I think honestly losing that character card to put Rivers on edge might have paid off a little bit more for her. Who knows? Don't know how that game would have played out here, but still a very good game head-to-head. Love to see the gameplay, good thorough gameplay here from Rivers and from Zombie. Thank you so much for being here for round 1. Guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, round 2 of this content. And don't forget, if you haven't yet, exclamation point join for your chance to win one of these 2 packs that we're giving away at the end. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Humble Pie. I'm your host, Jimmy D, and we're back here for round 2 of this amazing contest we have here at Lifelink Games. The store championship is on our way. We're just a little bit over the halfway mark here. The points are going up here right now. The top leaderboard here, as the usual names, we got ourselves Cy579. We have ourselves Porter, and I believe it's Curly, who is our current team leader right now at the very, very top of our leaderboard right now. Curly, if you're out there, please remind me if you're at the top here. I haven't seen the leaderboard in a little bit, but I believe you're still leading at the top. And we've got some great names and great decks coming out here. I'm super excited to introduce this next round, where we've got Brooke, which is a deck I was super hoping to see a lot more of in the early meta here, but sadly just kind of pushed aside, even though it does some amazing things in this meta and has some really good matchups. Sadly, the Enel just really kind of kept it in its place, and we'll talk about why when we get in the deck list here. Also, this one's going up against another deck here for Blackbeard. Blast in the past here. I believe Greg's just getting some nice little practice before he likely switches to yellow-black Blackbeard, as that one's about to come around the corner here. But we're going to be playing with the old school negate all your on plays Blackbeard. Zaha! We're going to see if that's going to be enough to knock out this very on-play heavy deck with Brooke. So, starting off with Brook, leader here. For those who haven't seen it, under the rules of the game, you do not lose the game when your deck gets to 0 cards. You lose at the end of your turn and when your deck becomes 0 cards. So, for those who don't know, in Nami, the minute you hit 0 cards, you just won the game. And that was the way that people play it. So, in the rules of the game, the minute you hit 0, insta done. However, with this one, you still get to finish your turn. So, this deck is going to be doing a lot of milling, a lot of putting stuff in the cards here, along with trying to replay from the graveyard and start using that graveyard or trash, if you will, to start playing the game and getting some resources. Activate main once per turn, trash 4 cards to the top of your deck. Then if your deck has 0 cards, set up to one of your characters as active. So, a nice little end of turn kind of thing. This is one of the things you're going to be like the last ditch effort, swinging for at the brink of death. Appropriate for Brook, if you ask me here. We're swinging at the brink of death here to get one more swing in with this amazing leader here at the end of the game. So, won't come up too much in the middle of the game, but definitely something you want to keep your eyes out. Now, there's a lot of on plays here. Obviously, we got the searchers. Obviously, we got the ones that, like the best searcher here, the one you get to get back from the trash. But a lot of on plays here that also allow them to trash. You have the rester. You got other on plays here that allow you to get cards back, restand Dawn. And really a lot, like, and then play free characters and give them rush. Like, there's a lot of on plays here that this Blackbeard deck can absolutely shut down. However, there is still a lot of utility cards here that can really powerhouse through this game. And we're going to see if Brook's own leader ability can punch through, along with a bunch of, we're hoping to see a lot of these 0 costs here start milling through the deck if we possibly can. To make sure that we're getting those cards to get some good searches. Because some of these effects, blocker, obviously not going to be affected. But a lot of these on plays definitely likely going to be turned down. And it's going to be on Greg to figure out what is the right answer for what gets turned down. Taking a look at his deck here, not a whole lot's changed here. I mean, obviously, Shiryu, the blocker's been seeing some extra play here. If your leader's a Blackbeard Pirates type, KO to one of your opponent's characters with a base power 4 or less. Not bad. It's just a KO swapper, killer, gets rid of the blockers. Obviously, name of the game, try to get to 10 cost teach, back-to-back them, and win the game. Simple, same as like Beppo and Law and other strategies that you see out there. That is the type of deck for green. Here's Martial Teach, and it's doing that by turning off on plays. This deck loves to turn off on plays. It has to trash a card, but when this leader activates his ability, all his on play ability is just completely negated. It already has it for itself, but that's none of the characters outside of this Caribou, which has a negative on play here, if you ask me. Trash 2 cards from your hand. But outside of that, really not affecting the deck much here. We like some great removal, some great searching, some great recursion here with the Kuzans. And we got some great like combo pieces that allow them to start popping characters so long as they don't have any protection on the board. So we'll see where it goes. Jesus Burgess, obviously the biggest puncher, along with the top deck, Martial D. Teach. So, will Greg strategize his hand and make sure that he hits all the appropriate on-play turnoffs? Or will Michael walk away with a nice little power creep win? Starting off here, Greg, nothing on a turn 1 play. Also not willing to turn off the on-plays for these searchers here. I like that play. Gonna get some mill on here. Don't think he's too concerned here on the start. Tony Chopper. Ooh, double Tony Chopper in yard for this. Then leader ability here. Likely going to help to get some more mills. That's what that was, sorry. Leader ability here. So, this one going to be an insta search here for Lafayette. Greg looking for some kind of answers here. Michael just the simple blocker. Going to get the first 10 cost teach here in the hand. Probably going to go in for 6 and probably see a discard here to turn off those on plays. Here comes a 6. Looking for 2. Michael with the take. Pass it back to turn. Did we see a pitch yet? No pitch yet here. Greg willing to let this one play out. Kind of interesting. There are a lot of on plays here from Michael. He could be trying to use that mill ability, but I guess Greg's just not too intimidated the first couple turns about this mill ability. Leader ability being activated here. Here comes 4. Fill up the yard. 2 of the Tony Choppers in the yard really hurts. Those are great cards to get back. Some stuff here. Going in for simple 5. Into Lafayette. Okay. Board cleanup. Good call. Stop the searching. And a pass back. Here comes Mike. Back to Greg. 5 Dawn turn here for Greg. We're going to see maybe a Burgess playing a 6K swing. Maybe seeing some early game blockers here. Gonna discard for leader ability here. Coming in with a base 5. And a take here from Michael. And dropping all 5 here. So there we got the Kuzan play here. This one gonna be able to get the get some cards back if necessary after swings. So really looking forward to seeing how that one plays off. Greg having taken 0 life here. Greg just at 2 life already. Not looking too good, but I imagine the hand's looking pretty good. Refuso, welcome to the chat. Appreciate you. Thanks for joining the Discord. All right, leader ability being activated. Here comes 3 off the top. Zombie Luffy, another copy of that Nami. 0 cost, which you really want to see in hand right now to start getting some of that mill on here. And another copy of the Sanji. Looking for... Here we go. The on play is turned off, reminding him. Yep, so no longer are we going to see the Frankie docking 6 here. 5k into life, looking for 1, gets it. A lot of cards in here, a lot of counter cards here too as well for Michael here. So it looks like he is going to be able to survive this turn. Some massive switches, but already taking 2 hits. Definitely putting Greg in some kind of power seat here. Michael yet to use a blocker, so Greg looking for the cases when this blocker is going to be turned on. 7 Dawn turn here for Greg. Going in for a simple 6. Looking for 2. Has it with the Megalo. Discarding for leader ability yet again. Sacking this ability to get back Van Auger from the yard. Now this one not going to be able to attack, obviously, but a nice little replacement. I love that combo here with that Kuzan. Swinging, sacking, bringing something back. Here comes 3, 8 into life here. Asking for a bunch. Looks like we're going to get 8 here. Need 1 more. Still need 1 more here for Michael. There you go, 1k. Now, Caribou blocker out there and 2 open. Passing back to Michael. Leader is active, so no on plays here for Michael yet. Yard looking a little bit weak here this late in the game for Michael, but that's what happens when you get these on plays here, all being turned off. Using the leader effect to mill 4. Michael doing what he can to try to get himself down to 0. Good opportunity here to probably get some of those Brooks online. One of the keys to this deck is multi-attacks. You want to get as many attacks in as possible, especially towards the late game. And that's really going to come down to setting up a board with nice Brook SRs and maybe some docking stations. But sadly, the docking 6 really not going to get much power here, given its on play turned off 2 turns in a row. There are still 7k bodies, so nothing to snuff at. Here comes 7. Going to get a block from the Caribou. Surprised Greg is not a take yet. I mean, he hasn't taken a single life here. Here we go. Definitely an intimidation tactic here, putting himself 4-2 here for Michael here. Got a nice little Van Auger swing here. Just 1 turn away from starting to play the chain those Blackbeards. Starting off with Lafayette, going to get another search on. We know he already has 1 copy of the Blackbeard. We'll see if he gets a second one here. Nope, going for Jesus Burgess, the other powerhouse. Grabs that out. Imagine that's going to see play here very shortly here. Already have 4 in the yard here, so that one already getting plus 1,000 power. We'll see what he wants to do for the 7 Dawn remaining turn here. Looking to tap 2 more here for a 7k swing. Coming in, looking for 2 and 1. Michael on the take, down to 1 life. Pressure's looking pretty thick here. Gonna tap 4 for the Burgess, and we're gonna see a 7 for the Van Auger. Or leave 1 open. Representing 1k growth here just from the yard. Are we gonna protect Van Auger? Are we gonna swing? Tapping 1 for another Caribou. Imagine we do want to get some swings in here. Van Auger, here we go. 6 in the life, gets a 2. Discarding for leader ability and passing back the turn. Greg at a very healthy 4 life to 1 life here to Michael. Leader ability already activated here. Smart, he's not anywhere near needing that last turn ability, so activating the mill 4, not going to be too much of a danger. Just wants to get maximum amount of information from his mills in the yard to see what he wants to pull back. So really good play here from Michael's part. Do have 2 docking stations coming in here for at least 7k power and leader attack. Morno Zoro still sitting on defense. Here comes what looks like our first 7. Caribou going to be the block. 8 into life here. Nope, going into Van Auger here. That putting Jesus Burgess up to 7K. Are we going to see a swing into Lafayette here? Or is Michael just going to let this one sit? Now, mind you, we know that Greg's going to 10. So the Lafayette probably not going to get much of a search on, but gets a hit anyways. So actually, really good play on Greg to have that out there, because we do know that now we're going to be seeing a lot of back-to-back plays with the Marshall D teachers in hand. Another docking 6. Still no on play for this card. All the docking 6s here. But here comes the 10-Don turn here for Greg. Tapping all of it for our first Blackbeard. Turn off leader ability this turn. Turn off the ability of the potential blocker here. Nope, just going to lock down the docking 6. Making sure that can attack next turn. Activate leader ability. Here comes 5 into life, asking for a simple 1. Gets it. Here comes 7, looking for 2 and 1. Gets the block. All right, Greg passing back. Knows that this could be the end turn here for Michael if he doesn't do something. Jesus Burgess definitely a threat he has to deal with here. Reminding him docking 6 can attack. Does have 2 attacks left here. He should be at 10 Don here as Michael. Don't think he's anywhere near the last of his life here to get those extra swing from Brooke just yet. But Michael definitely on the back foot. 4 life is Greg. And a free block of this Marshall D teach. So I imagine Michael probably going to be hard up on trying to get rid of this Jesus Burgess. Loading up one of the docking 6. I probably put 5 or 6 underneath it. Alright, going for this. No on play. Doesn't really do anything. Doesn't rest anything. But it is a blocker. Here comes 5 into life. Gets a 1. Still surprised that Greg hasn't gone for a simple, like, take the life. Take the life. You got plenty of time. Here comes 7. And a take. Yeah, plenty of life. 2 to 1, or 3 to 1 now. Good intimidation factor, though. Here comes 7. Gets a free block. See, 6 Dawn left here for Michael. See what he wants to go for. Is this going to be, I believe, 6 is the... Oh, Electric Luna here. Going to lock down the Jesus Burgess. Can't stop the teach, but he can get down the Burgess. Alright, should it still have 3 Dawn left after this? Could be setting up for some defensive plays. Getting kind of low. Almost at the last point of attack here. Back to Greg. Another 10 drop could really put the hurting on here for Michael. Only 3 cards in hand. Activate leader ability. Now Jesus Burgess at 8. 10. Yep. Back to back. Turn off the Nami. Nope. Turn off the docking station. Okay, just a swing 5. Looking for 1. 12 into one of the dock. Alright, that makes sense because it would have been a free block anyways. Swing into that. Back to Michael. On plays are turned off. 2 cards in hand here. 3 life. Michael's got to do something to fight through this. Free block coming from one of these Marshall D teaches. Using leader ability. Looks like he's only 1 leader ability left from hitting 0. Let's see if he can even make it past this turn. He has to get through one of the teach blockers and has to survive a turn of 2 of these teach blockers swinging in the face. Definitely the back foot here. Another docking 6. Still no on play. All 4 docking 6s now have seen play. Nami blocker. Only thing we have left here. 5 Dawn. Can swing with 2. Here comes 5 into 1. 5 into life here. Gets a 1K. Or 2K with the stronger. Big massive swing here. Into Burgess. Now, I don't know where that thing was going. If it was, I think it was going to life. I honestly would have taken it, taken the life if I was Greg. But here's a big swing here. Looks like he's trying to go for game. Needs to bait out that blocker from Nami. Here's the first swing. Loading up. Can he lock this down? Oh my gosh, an Electric Luna off the top. Michael with the save with the... Holy crap. This game was over. Michael with the save. Electric Luna out of life. Freezing the last attack. And now Brooke open to go for the full lead. Is going to go to 0 with the activation for another attack. Holy crap! Greg can't believe it. He had game all wrapped up here. Electric, all right, here comes all that open. Dawn had nothing to even play with it. First hit here, Black Hole on the leader. Can Greg survive this turn? Leader ability can be activated to give one of these docking sixes another swing. And he can load these things up. Look at 10, 10, 10. Big swing here. Loading up this 10. Load up to 10. Can't do anything. Greg cannot believe it. Electric Luna. No, he was 5, so he couldn't even activate leader ability. I thought he was at 4. He had 5, so he couldn't activate leader ability. Still, enough to get through Greg's defenses. Oh, man. Greg just befounded. He had that game all wrapped up. I feel for you, Greg. I really do. I feel for you. That is insane. Last card. Of course, triggers can really turn the effect. A lot of these games in Bondi, these triggers really make a difference. They're called bursts in Gundam. They're called triggers as specials or events that you can get from Union Arena. But seriously, so many of these things can change the game in a heap. This game was over. Greg had it. Electric Luna, the only card that saves him in this situation. Michael, with the skin of his teeth, squeezes out that win. It's insane. Crazy good match. Crazy good match. All right, guys, we're going to take a bit of a break. When we come back, we're going to get to the last round and, of course, give away some free packs. Hope you're all having a great time today. Thank you so much. That was sick, Debs. You're right. That was sick. That, just seeing the ending. Oh, my gosh. Woo! What a game. Guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, last game of the night. Packs to give away. Let's call it. Thank you so much for being here. Stay tuned. We got more content coming your way. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Humble Pie. I'm your host, Jimmy D, and this is it. This is the third and final round for today's live streams audience here. We have our matchup, the last match, two players that we've already seen on camera. Michael having taken it down with such a lucky, incredibly lucky Electric Luna here from the life hit to freeze the last swing from Blackbeard, taking the game away from Greg last second. That's why the trigger is magic. You gotta be careful with those things, and the orders in which you attack it sometimes is so important, and sometimes you just can't play around. Sometimes it happens. I've had games stolen from me all the time in all the Bondi games. It's what makes things sometimes exciting. I know it feels like on the back end. But like, man, I had everything wrapped up. This game was all mine, and I just had it taken from me by a simple trigger from life, and it's devastating, absolutely devastating. But it happens. But he's gonna be going up against Rivers, who we saw earlier in round one, playing his Sanji deck. So we're gonna see Sanji back on camera here, and we're gonna be seeing this one go up against Brooke in the finals. I'm really kind of curious what you guys think. Which one of these two leaders is definitely going to be the king, the one taking home the last championship here between these two players? It's gonna be great. I can't wait to see which one takes down. I really enjoy seeing Brooke this late in the game. It's a very good deck. I wish I would see more of it. We haven't even seen the epic strength that this deck has as a whole here. This thing is all about massive attacks. Brooke giving extra attacks, massive double damage being done to help with the yellow matchup here with the Monkey Luffy. We're going to go over the deck list here a little bit, but you guys have already seen most of the cards, so we're going to be quick, getting through to both the deck lists, and of course, showcasing a nice PSA 10 here from Rivers once we get back to the match here. But first, let's get into our last two deck lists of the night. Blue-Purple Sanji versus Brooke Green-Black. All right, starting it off, we have ourselves Sanji, the Event King. Now, kind of replaced, honestly, by Lucy in this current meta here. That one's really the Event King here, but this one still has its capabilities. I mean, down -1, you can play a 3 cost or less from your hand for free, and when attacking, well, I mean, down -1 for the cost here, but basically get a 3 cost here, and when attacking with the number of Dawn and less than your opponents, you get to ramp it on. So, really nice. A way to return all the Dawn that you're doing minusing with a lot of these different events. I mean, down -2 for this one, down -1 for the Mamoragan if you're using it. There's a lot of different abilities here to deal with threats like the Divine Departure helps out. We do have blockers. We have, of course, the Sanji. This is a namesake for the deck. It gets powered up by how many events we have in the trash. For every 5, an additional 5 or 1k. And if you try to remove it by an effect, simply return it on, and it's not once per turn. We got time for some draw. We got a lot of draw with these events. Some kind of removal in some of these places here. I believe we saw this one last time. You return up to one of your opponent's characters that cost 4 or less to its owner's hand. If you have 6 cards or less, you can draw 2 cards. So you have ways to deal with some of the threats by either drawing or by returning them to hand, which is something that a lot of these things, they're looking for KOs and other stuff to protect it. But we are in a meta where removal is not necessarily dead, but sometimes can be, and we saw that in game 1, where unfortunately that Gravity Blade didn't do a whole lot against a deck that was just protected with this simple Dawn -1 ability here that you get from the character, of course. And then we have Brooke, the Mill King, the man that's going to be trying to mill out, the man that played out 4 of these Pirate Docking 6s here. Not once did he get this on play, where you have to trash 3 cards from the top of your deck and play up to 1 Straw Hat type character card with a cost 2 or less from your trash, which would have gotten back the Tony Chopper, let's be honest. There was plenty of them there. But never did we see this thing actually get there. Now, obviously, the character gaining +6 cost definitely put out a lot of combos that Greg could use to try to get rid of it. It being an 11 cost character, it's a lot harder for Greg to kind of like whittle down and use some of those key cards from his Blackbeard deck that he was playing last game. But like I said, we have some extra attacks. The leader not only does that after the milling and you get down to 0 cards, get a free attack, but this one, activate main, you can trash this character. If your leader's Straw Hat type character, set up to one of your characters with a base cost 8 or less and set it as active. So what are you doing? You're kind of like setting up. Maybe this, honestly, you're going to be in the zombie because all the trash here, you're going to have all this ability here, a 9k body here, swinging in for massive amounts of damage. And getting extra cost, of course, but that's really irrelevant. It's a 9k ability on here. We have the double damage, or the double attack here for the Luffy here. So if you're really trying to fight through some yellow, it's a great way to get through those life, get those triggers out of the way as much as possible. We do have some blockers here with the Zoro and the Nami. Of course, recursion here from Tony Chopper. An additional blocker here if your straw type character other than this character would be removed from the field by your opponent's effect. You may trash this character instead. So you have a nice little 2-cost 1k blocker, but in reality you have protection with this Rono Zoro while this thing sits on the field. Nami Searcher, spoil, getting some extra mill cards out there to make sure your heart yard is nice and healthy. And as we saw last time, there should be an Electric Luna in here on his list. But again, I did not get Michael's actual list, so I'm using a base one from Gum Gum GG. So Electric Luna, obviously a card that I've been telling you guys way back when that card was initially released, should be a staple in all green decks. With every thing going anti-removal, the best answer you can have is resting characters until the next turn. It's really effective against Nell. It's really effective against other decks that are being these mid-rangey type decks like here. Would be crucial in this one and this matchup to trying to freeze all the rest of these characters as well. For a turn, they buy you an extra turn. On top of that, the trigger is just insane, and as we just saw, can win games. Now, on to our two players here. Rivers showcasing his PSA 10 Monkey D. Luffy. Didn't get it graded himself, but he did pick this thing up. One of his prized possessions, because it is one of his first decks he ever played. On the channel, he was trying to make that deck good for so long. Did really good as a top player of the Black Yellow Luffy. Still wishes it would come back. There are some cards that can kind of like edge it up here, but let's be real. A lot of the leaders of old have kind of been power crept out. I mean, what do you guys think about that? A lot of these things really just not as powerful as they used to be. And just because these leader abilities and the cards that they're getting and the cards that are kind of like linked to the deck, just too much for this current state of meta. 4 life here, out here. Michael's got his 4 out. Rivers, ready to go. Had to go for the mulligan. Gonna start off the turn. Nothing from Michael. Back to Rivers. 2 Dawn. What do we got? Hopefully some searching. Then maybe a Dawn minus here. Maybe if he wants to. But yeah, gonna get a search on here. Start off with 3. Look for us an event here. Or Straw Hat here. Looks like we got Sanji. At least that's what I think I just saw. So, gets a search. It is a Sanji. Gonna pass it right back. 4 cards off the top. Oh, I guess Michael had forgotten to use his leader ability, so they're just rolling that back and allowing him the opportunity to do so. Another search here. Getting 2 events in the yard as Rivers. Trying to stack this up here. Of course, Michael trying to look at his yard, trying to see what targets he might have for Tony Chopper. And already with 4 events in yard, just 1 away from powering up that Sanji he is in hand. Passing back to Michael. 3 Dawn turn. Gonna start off activating the leader ability. Doesn't want to make sure he doesn't forget it this turn. Didn't even put out the Dawn yet. Was just trying to get this thing going. 6 for the attack. Looking for a 2K. Gets it with the Great Suit Sanji. And Tony Chopper, the Plague, in a mill 3. Got my own YouTube channel here. Blaring back in my ear. Don't forget, this is your last chance to get the 2 free packs at the end. So if you want, got an exclamation point join in either my YouTube or into my Twitch account here. Resting 3. Both bursts, looking for the draw 2. 5 in here. Now has capability of getting his Sanji up to 6K. Hasn't played any yet here. Get a Dawn minus. Activate a 3 cost for event here. Stealth. And gonna play that Sanji. And there we go. Just like that, we have one of the 6K bodies already out in action. Now, no rush for this one, but we do have an opportunity to leave 1 open for defense or swing 6. We're swinging 6. Looking for 2 from Michael. See if he takes. Is going to take. Just like last time, taking a lot of these early hits here is Michael. But doesn't have to worry about some of those yellow effects that really get benefited by you having lower life. So a little bit easier for Michael to take life. Whereas a yellow matchup, you really want to be careful sometimes of how much you take, because you do put yourself in a vulnerable state. Looks like we're going to get the Mamaragan cycle here. Plus 1K and draw a card from that leader attack. Now docking 6 that can see some play here. Get the mill on. Likely going to get that Tony Chopper back from the yard. There it is. Tony Chopper going to mill 3 more. Does have an opportunity. Is going to sack it immediately to get back. Card unknown. It looked like it might have been Nami from what I could see. But a little bit quick here. Both these players really fast on the upkeep here. Not a lot of events here for Rivers, but a lot of different blockers. I'm going to activate a nice little searcher like this plays. That way he can, if he needs to, we can use one of those events in Sanji's ability by Don minusing. Has a lot of defensive one cost here in hand. Look like we had Concussor, looks like a giant. Gonna go for another counter and searcher here. Looks like, yep, River is just more focused on trying to fill the yard here, which makes sense. Get those things up there, make sure that Sanji's a nice little 7k before swinging with it. Now remember that bottom deck, or the return to hand does do 4 costs or less. So I believe that's the answer here to bottom deck that docking 6 though. So here we got 5 and 7. Are we going to Don minus to bottom deck that's docking 6? Gonna ramp. Look like we got a ramp here. Still trying to figure out, River's trying to figure out what he's doing here. 3 Dawn should be the activation ability here. Gonna get out another Sanji, nice little 7k. So now we're probably gonna do the minus for leader ability. 6 on this swing here to ramp. I think he's doing things a little bit out of sequence here. Here comes a nice little 7. Michael on the tack here. River's all over the place here with the sequencing, but still has 10 in the yard. And a pass back to Michael. Michael gonna draw and immediately mill the 4, it looks like. Not wanting to forget that leader ability. Has a nice little 5 and 7k body. This would be a great turn for Brook to see the field. Yeah, nice little SR here, if he has it in hand. Does want to start setting up, especially for the late game. Need to get some more hits here. Hasn't taken a single life. River is on the first take. Nice little Reiju from life. When it gets powered up by all those events in the trash. So instantly going to be a higher cost and a higher attack. Michael tapping some Dawn here. See what he wants to bring out. Be a good play for maybe even the double attack Luffy to try to get those things down. We are getting closer to the end game here. Rivers with a substantial board already has 2 of his Sanjis out. Ah, Megalo. But trying to destroy it is just going to return to Dawn. Yeah, it is being removed by an effect. I don't know if Michael knew that, but that does have an ingrained protection. Or maybe just for trying to take down a Dawn. Could be. But this deck really gets powered up by having less Dawn. So here comes 9. See where this one's coming. Into life here. Puts him down to 2. Good call here from Michael. Going for life. 2-2 the life. Back here. Now 7 Dawn turn here for Rivers after all that returning. Draws for turn. Looks like Concussor the draw. Nice little 4k counter in the hand. Having some kind of defense here. Be a good play to here. I'd probably get the Reiju down as a nice little blocker just in case. Is going to have to worry about 3 potential attacks next turn. Not much of a Dawn investment here. It looks like we do have Electric Luna to keep these things locked down here from Michael. Could be a great late game answer when he's ready to push. Next turn looking probably going to be playing that Nami here. Getting out one of those Brooks possibly. Comes 3 Dawn. For bottom decking. Okay. Gonna bottom deck the Megalo. Gets one of those attacks out of the way. Should be a way for him to get less Dawn here than his opponent to get that Reitsu Sanji. There's a Dawn minus here. Gonna reduce the attack on that docking 6, so maybe get an answer to clean up board here. 4 Dawn open. Could go for the Reiju. Could go for the Sanji raid suit. And Michael definitely with an answer to come back from this. Oh, decides to go for the search. Okay. Looking off the top. Mamaragan looking pretty juicy here. Looks like Concussor coming to the top. So going for double Concussor for the defensive play. All right. Yep. Double Concussor in hand here. Means he's got 1 Dawn to work with if he wants to keep them open for 2. Concasser. I was going to just play it for the main event, for the nice little cycle. Okay. Guess trying to pump through and trying to get these things up to 8K. And still Dawn minus if he needs to. I think he has an event he can take care of this. But here comes our first Sanji swing. Wasn't able to get the 3rd one in here. Or the last event to get the nice little plus 1K. Here looks like 7. Probably coming in a docking 6. Looks like we had a 3K counter. Another 7 into the docking 6. This one going bay. Bye-bye. Now 5 into life. Michael gives a 1. With the zombie Luffy. Draw. We'll see if he mills the 4 immediately here. Michael not in a great position. Nothing on field here. But that could change right around with a nice little Nami play. Will take him out of being able to do Electrical Luna this turn, so it means he's going to have to survive this next turn. If River sees blood in the water, could try to go for lethal. Does have 2 open for the Concussor play. Michael playing out the leader, Billy milling 4. Still looking at his options here. Looks like Brook was towards the top here, so that might be where he's focused here. Gonna come in for 5. Pope looking for 1. Gonna get it with the Reiju. Michael using Electric Luna this turn, locking it down. Says I need 1 more turn here. 5 open, try to establish a body or some kind of field here. And River's just checking through the trash, seeing how many he has. Two of them in trash here. Here we go. Brook the play. Able to establish a body and probably going to pass the turn. Yep. Back to Rivers. 9 Dawn turn here. A lot of bricks in hand here. But also some good cards here from Michael. We'll see if he has time to play these things out. He did buy himself a turn with Electric Luna. Going to get first search here. Probably looking for another Sanji. Not finding it. Did look like he did. It looked like a boof burst, possibly here. No, yep, boof burst there. There we go. Put the other ones in there. Should pump these things up. Now 8K are these Sanjis. Plenty of plays here. Rivers could go swinging into that life, just trying to take out the last little bit here. Definitely wants to keep up some kind of protection to keep these Sanjis alive. Maybe a good Reiju block, or if that was his only Reiju, he countered out of last turn. Activating the ability for a nice little -3 to play another Sanji. Now 3 8K bodies on play here. Using 3 more. Both bursts to play. Drawing 2. Still 2 away from getting up to the 9K for these Sanjis, but not impossible if he passes his turn, given he has plenty of counter in hand. But likely going to see an 8K swing with 2 open, or some other plays here. We could see Raid Suit Reiju, 1 open, going 3, so it could be the Raid Suit Sanji here. Pretty sure he has less on. Or could want to hang on to it for the 2K. We're going to see paying 3. Nope, going for 8K swing. 8K, likely going to be a take here for Michael. Thinking through his hand here. Yep. Really slowing that take. Really like that play from Michael here. Wanted to make him think that he did have it, because there's a lot of bricks in Michael's hand. So trying to take it quick. Definitely don't want to give your opponent a tell. You don't have much counter in hand here. So slow take on that one. Very good. Rivers reminded me he forgot to do the ramp with the leader attack. So getting that one rested back here. Michael milling 4 off the top. Still not a 0. Doesn't want to be. Doesn't have the board state for it. Does have one of the brooks for some extra swings in here. But has 2 life to get through. Could get out this Nami out of hand here to get something back and give a rush. 4 a play. Here comes 5 into life, looking for 1. Gets it with a Mamaraga that should replace itself. Here comes 6. Gonna get one of the concussors, which pumps all of them up to 9K. Michael not liking this. 3 9K bodies here. Only 1 life to sit on here, and has nothing but a Brook in play and 8 open. I think he's looking to see what options he has going for Nami here. Nami, sadly, not a blocker. And whatever she brings back, can have rush for the turn. Bring back Zombie Luffy, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. Especially when they're still open and we know that he's got Gum Gum Giant in hand. So, plenty of defense here for Rivers. He should be surviving this turn just fine. And then Michael's going to have to defend against 3 9K bodies. That's without Dawn allocation. So here's a Nami. What are we getting back? Going to get... Oh, looked like it originally was going to Usopp here. Nope, going for Zombie Luffy. Alright, nice little 9K swing. I guess he could try to threaten one of the bodies if he wanted to. But, yeah, they're doing the count right now just to verify it is a 9K. I'm pretty sure, based on the size of Michael's deck, this should be a 9K body here. So 2 swings with 9, fine. Gets Rivers down to 0. But let's be real, he has a counter in hand. This one will probably be the Giant. Here comes 10 and the 2K. So, nice little Giant and 2K here for Rivers. No, I'm sorry. No, 11K. So, going to cost quite a bit here for Rivers once the counter out of this. If it's going towards a character, I believe the Gum Gum Giant can protect the characters here. Well, looks like Michael's just trying to verify, but River's just going to take. Said, I'm not going to waste this on it. I got 2 life. Restand it, I dare you. All right. Full 10 Dawn is River. Another Gum Gum Giant off the top here. I think he knows the writing's on the wall. It's all about attacking. No blockers to speak of. 3 9K bodies on just static. What are we thinking at home? 11, 11, 11? That's what it is. He's pointing them out here. Putting them 2 stacks of 2. 3 stacks of 2. Leaving him with 4 Dawn. We could go 9, 11, 11, 11. Oh, that's a bad joke. Let's not go there. I already forgot. Here comes 9. 2 2Ks. Here comes 11. Michael on the take. Can he take another 11? I don't think he can. I think this one's going to do it. We're going to see. Here comes 11. Michael, 0 cost. That's +3. Has to discard. To 8. Yeah, and 2 and 2. I don't think that's enough. He does have enough. It's still 11 with 1 card left in hand. There's no way he's fighting through it. Rivers closes it out in record speed. Blue purple Sanji, and just showing him I did have defense just in case. And that's gonna do it. Round 3 is out. Rivers, blue purple Sanji taking down this meta here and showcasing it's still strong. It's still good. I do want to say that I don't think it has a great matchup against Nell, so maybe if you dodge some of Nell players, it might be the key to here. But still, good gameplay here from both of them. Sequencing a little off, but I think that's what happens when you're playing casual. And it's just really nice to see. Like, Rivers saw all of his 3-cost Sanjis, got them powered up, played through, got them up to 9K bodies, which is exactly what you want to do with this deck. That's exactly what this deck wants to do. Get as many of those Sanjis out on the field, get them out to be a base 8, 9, 10 power here. Or not base, but powered up by the amount of events you have in your trash. And it's just lights out. Fantastic performance here. Congratulations, River, on your big win here. Massive points to the board. We'll see what that puts you in the leaderboard here after all this. But for all of you at home, it's pack time. We are pack time. Opening that pack time. Let's see where they be. Checking YouTube. Checking chat. Okay, let's get to the wheel. All right, pack number 1. Free giveaway. New time chatter, my king Yamato. Still looking to get in those Discord, my king. My king Yamato. Love the name, by the way. I love the name. Want to take that for myself, but I need you in the Discord. The pack that smiles back. One Piece. I like that Uchiha. That's pretty good. My king, I need you in the Discord. I need this. Congratulations on the win. We can get some rigged in here. First time speaker here. Don't know if my king's still in the chat, but I love it when new people come in here first time, get the follow, and get a win off the bat. Now, if you were gonna say it was rigged, that you'd say this is where you'd say it's rigged, guys. First time chatter, first time following, and of course I'm rewarding them with a beautiful pack. Come on, what can we say rigged better than that? Rigged. Kuma, Hotback, Pincers, Yama, Rocky, Seacat. That thing's huge. I love that. Gum Hawk Gatling, Leo, Tony, Chopper. Lightning Dragon's our first rare. Now this is a Dom pack, so I think these are still, if I remember correctly, the Dom packs are still double rare. Like, they didn't change the Dom pack thing. They did change the leader thing, which is funny because I didn't get leader with this, and that's usually what happened. You get leader with the Dom packs here, so I guess I got rid of the leader being a Dom pack. And hey, Smoker Tashigi is not a bad card. Gold Dawn? Oh, no. Just regular Dawn. Alright, so not the Gold Dawn. Still good pack. Lightning Dragon, Smoker Tashigi. Those are great staples. Great pack. Congratulations to my king Yamato. Alright, so 1 pack to go. 1 pack to win them all. Let's find out who's going away at the last window. We're going to find out who we're going to raid tonight on this Monday night. I gotta say, one of the things that, like, I've really been enjoying, the stream isn't crashing. It's Monday. It's not crashing, guys. Maybe it's worked through. Maybe. Now, also note that I actually waited till the end of the stream to say that, so I didn't get cursed at the last round. But we got one last pack to give away. Who's it going to? Rivers is our winners. Congratulations. Here is your pack win. Congratulations. I need you in chat too. Alright, nothing special here. Remember, there could be an alt art or a Gold Dawn. Not a Gold Dawn chance here. But we have 3 packs this Wednesday too. So if no alt arts pulled tonight, good chance that we're going to have a big win on Wednesday with me and Porter as we say goodbye, OP15. Yeah. Goodbye, OP15. Bye-bye. Welcome, OP16. All right. Spoil. Moda. Doll. Vegapunk. Bobby Funk. Alpha. It's my student's farewell. I want it to be proper. I wish this card would have made this deck good. Muggy Luffy. Ronor Zoro. Hayozo. I hope I said that right. Our first rare is Ohm. Are we going to finish that off with an alt? No, Pearl. Double rare pack here. Double rare pack, okay. So, ready to get rid of OP15. We forgot the number we're on. I know, right? Dude, it's so hard to keep track. I keep running through numbers. And you know, it's like, when you play as many games as I do, and you gotta run through it, and you have all these things you can run through your head. It's so difficult to try and keep track. Like, which one are we on here? What's the name of the set? What's this one supposed to be? Like, I'm still like, what starter deck are we on? I remember some guy was trying to tell me, like, we were on starter deck, like, 12 or something for Gundam. And I'm like, are we already there? good grief. Got so many different starter decks coming out for this stuff. And then it's like trying to keep up with all the different starter decks. Dragon Ball Fusion World, and of course all this stuff in Union Arena is a little bit easier. But it's like, are we on volume 2 of that yet? Is that volume 1, volume 2? What are we at? It's so much to keep track of. But it is okay. I love the insanity. I love the card games. And I hope that you guys come to Lifelink Games to come and check out some of those card games. Who won? So today, Rivers and My King Yamato Perfusa are 2 winners here. We had 2 big winners. First time chatter, first time subscription. Thank you so much for the follow. My King Yamato, I need you in the Discord. Gotta get this one away. But only double, it was a Don pack with double rares in a double rare pack. Which means, Perfusa, set your calendar for Thursday. Or Wednesday, sorry. Set it for Wednesday, because we have 3 packs to give away. It's gonna be great. Looking forward to it. We got ourselves a great night and our farewell to OP15. And of course, I'm gonna be calling it for tonight. We're gonna find out who we're gonna raid. Find out who is out there in Twitch land to get this raid. Let's see. All right, Kazuku Cohen, looking pretty strong. All right, Kazuku Colin, gonna get themselves a raid. Let's say hi to him. Say that. Welcome to chat. You missed it. There was a $20,000 card in there. I wish. I'd be clipping the crap out of that. You kidding me? I'm waiting, guys. I've already given away thousands of dollars in cards. Get the $20,000. Now we're cooking. All right, with that, we are going to be rating this. Kazuku, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all your time. And as always, stay humble.